We've got new insight from a group of independent voters in battleground Georgia, where tomorrow's debate will take place. It's part of the NBC News Deciders Focus Group series, produced in collaboration with Engage's, Syracuse University, and Sago. These voters, all of whom voted for Biden or Trump in 2020, now say they are likely to vote for a third party. Here's what they'll be watching for tomorrow night.
By a show of fingers, who plans to watch the debate Thursday night between Trump and Biden? 4 of you do. David does not.
Well, I'm a maybe.
What do you expect to learn from watching?
The competency level of Joe Biden.
This is going to sound awful, but it might be slightly entertaining. I want to see how they do.
I'm honestly going to watch it just to see two grown kids go head to head and insult each other, because that's what they've always done. That's what Trump did last year, that he was insulting people left and right.
I have better things to do. I'm not going to sit here and watch two old, senile, delusional men go back and forth with one another, throwing jabs at each other's parties. I can care less about what Biden and Trump has to say.
Whether Trump's going to be over the top or Biden's going to melt, going to have a brain meltdown, I don't, not really interested in watching that.
Would any of you say there's a modest chance that this debate might change your mind about whom you'll vote for?
No.
No.
Hell no.
Joining me on set, once again, NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor and NBC chief political analyst Chuck Todd. Yamiche, it's interesting. I was at a wedding over the weekend in my hometown of Buffalo, New York, and I was shocked at the number of double haters I encountered. That seems to be a growing segment of the population here. From this focus group that we looked at, these double haters, what's driving their dislike of both the candidates, and what is it about someone like RFK Jr. that is drawing them in?
Well, I think when you talk to your family in Buffalo, and I talk to people in Florida, my family, I think the story of this election will likely be these double haters and a nation that really just is not looking forward to a rematch between these two men who already had their chance in the presidency. So what we heard from these people, from these voters in Georgia, these independent voters, are that they really are tired of both of these candidates. They don't want to see them. They think that all of their sort of issues and flaws make them just not the right person for this moment. And we heard over and over again that people were doing research and as a result found their way to RFK Jr. These aren't people that just sort of picked a name out of a hat. These voters in particular said, I actually know his policies. I've watched talks about him, and he is someone that I want to vote for instead of Trump or Biden. So take a listen to a little bit more of what they said about Trump and Biden.
Let's go back to President Biden. What, if anything, do you dislike about him?
He lost my trust with the Hunter Biden situation.
I don't like the student loan forgiveness. That feels like he's just trying to buy votes.
Let's go back to former President Trump. What, if anything, do you dislike about him?
I think he's very selfish and egotistical.
I would have to say that I lost a lot of respect for him over the January 6th scenario. And coming from Georgia and the way that he bullied people in our state for the outcome of the election.
What's attractive to you about RFK Jr.?
Something different. He just seems like he stands for change. Seen what Trump can do. We've seen what Biden can do. The idea of something new.
Is it more of a vote for Kennedy because you like him? Or if it's more of a protest vote against both Biden and Trump?
Right. In my case, I would say it's proactive. Some things concern me, but in a lot of ways, I support what he claims to stand for.
It's a combination of both. I feel like if there were other better candidates out there, then I probably wouldn't give him as much as attention as he's getting right now.
So there you have it. We spent the night with these people who are just really, really not looking forward to this rematch. And I think in particular, it reminded me of the fact that over the last 2 elections, people felt like they were already feeling like they were picking the lesser of 2 evils when it comes to this group. And that's their language, meaning that maybe some of these people voted for Hillary Clinton because they just didn't like Donald Trump, but they didn't really like Hillary Clinton. And then in 2020, they went for Biden or they went for Trump because they didn't like the other person. And now they're fed up. They're like, I'm not doing this again. I want to pick the person that I'm actually excited about. So even if he doesn't have a chance to win, RFK Jr. is the person I'm going for.